Hey guys, Winter here.
And Lee.
We are coming here to you, first of all, to tell you about a fun sweepstakes that we are doing in conjunction with True Aussie Beef and Lamb. We're so excited. It's called Grill on the Green.
So we have a big green egg, BBQ grill, and smoker, and we're really excited to use it throughout the summer, throughout the whole year, actually. And this sweepstakes is in conjunction, like Winter said, with True Aussie Beef and Lamb. And what you need to do is you need to go to the website, grillonthegreen.com, and there will be a drop-down menu, and you select Hungry Squared Podcast, fill in all the pertinent information they ask, and submit. And what you can win is your very own big green egg grill. And it's awesome, guys. It's beautiful, first of all, and it also creates beautiful meat when you smoke it and cook with it.
Yes, and along with this awesome sweepstakes, we will, throughout the summer, be putting out some different things to highlight lamb and beef recipes that we're putting together on the grill, as well as the green egg, because you guys, this little piece of equipment is highly sophisticated, way more sophisticated than I am. So we're just trying to, True Aussie Beef and Lamb are really just trying to get people to go outdoors and enjoy the time together. We're making it a party. So join us here every single week and on our show notes and see what we've come up with. And occasionally we're going to throw in a Facebook Live or maybe an Instagram Live. So check us out there. And once again, that website is called www.grillonthegreen.com, and fill it out. Say shout out to our Hungry Squared listeners. So make sure you choose our name, and we just want one of our listeners to win. That's all there is to it.
It'd be cool. Cool for you guys. Yeah. Cool for us.
Because we're going to be like, woohoo, that was our person. So go and enter. You can enter from now until August 1st. So get going. Oh, I think it's only one time. One time per person.
One time per person. But that does not mean you can't have more than one person in your household.
Yeah, it doesn't say that. So if there's other people in your household that want to be a smoker barbecuer, do it.
Do it.
We want one of our listeners to win.
Hey, Winter.
Hey, Lee.
I have a quick joke for you.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's hear it.
All right. What's Peter Pan's favorite restaurant?
What?
Wendy's.
I should have guessed that.
Hungry Squared, bringing you the best food talk anywhere.
Welcome to the Hungry Squared Podcast, where the brain and belly meet. I'm Lee from Bee's Knees Waffles.
And I'm Winter from theredparty.com. This week, we're having a little minisode.
And minisode means Minnie Mouse or Mickey Mouse, right?
No, just a mini episode.
Oh.
That's what it means, Lee.
All right, what's this mini episode about?
It's about Disney foods.
So, Minnie Mouse episode.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about it. Lee, how's it going? Thanks for being on the podcast this week.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, we were, because we had some scheduling conflicts, we were out of town. So by the time things got around, we were like, oh, we need to record a podcast. So we thought maybe we just put out a little mini episode about some cool stuff we learned while we were in Florida.
Good old Orlando.
Yep. So, but first of all, what did you eat this week, Lee?
Like we said, we were in Orlando. Winter was at a conference, the Blogger Conference. I think from what I've heard, she did a wonderful job.
We taught a class, Sharon and I taught a class on podcasting, actually. It was really fun, you guys. Shout out to all of our blogger friends. Woo woo. That was really a fun class. And we want to hear your podcast, so I'm just saying.
Yeah. We ate a lot.
We did.
And one of the good things I really liked, we went to a restaurant in the Orlando area called Harry's Old Time Restaurant.
Harry's Old Place.
Old Place. Harry's Old Place. Old something or other. It was a good steak and seafood place. And Winter, I liked my dish. I got a surf and turf.
A steak and a lobster tail,
steak
right?
Steak and lobster. But Winter got a seafood pasta, and it was called the pescatario or something like that.
I can't even remember the name, but it was really good.
And it had everything. It had clams, it had mussels, it had oysters, it had scallops and shrimp, and a really good fish that I don't even know what kind of fish it was.
I can't remember the name either. It was a fish I've never eaten before, but it was white, and it was really flaky.
Really flaky.
It's
And
so good.
it was a good pasta seafood dish. I
Yeah.
liked it.
Yeah. And we share. This is what happens. I'm like, Lee, what are you getting? The steak? Okay, so I can have some steak. That's good. And then he eats half of my stuff. So it works out pretty well for me, I think.
I think it works out great for me. Winter, what did you eat this week?
Well, as you mentioned, we were in Orlando, but we're just kind of looking around locally for what is good out there. And we happened to be in an area that, let me just make sure I get the name of the place right, because it was awesome. It's called Big John's Rockin' BBQ and Homestyle Breakfast. So it's in Kissimmee, Florida. And we just did, I think it was a Yelp search, and there was a lot of high ratings and such. And so we ordered to go because they had a party going on. So
yeah, they were shutting down early because there was a local,
I think it was a car show
that was happening in that area.
Yeah. So we were like, okay, we'll just go pick it up. And we picked it up, and sure enough, there were a ton of cars out front, and it looked like a party. So we grabbed a couple of family platters.
Yeah.
And it came with, let me think about this.
Cornbread.
Coleslaw.
Mac salad.
And
baked beans.
Those were our sides.
Those were the sides.
But really the thing that shined were
the meats.
Yeah,
they were really good.
So there was like a shredded
pork. There was a shredded pork.
A brisket. And I think the brisket was my favorite because you just put it on your tongue with no sort of sauce or anything. And it was
had really
so
good,
smoky and so lovely. It was nice. And there was a turkey or a chicken. I'm not totally sure, but it was shredded. It was really good. And there was one, ribs.
Barbecue ribs, yeah.
And those were dang good.
Those were good. And they had a lot of sauces that were really good too. So
we asked because Lee and Ike had done an episode a couple of weeks ago about barbecue and smoking. And because they talked about the different regions, I asked them, because I'm like, where does Florida fall into the grand scheme of barbecue regional flavors, I guess. So it turns out Big John, he just kind of makes it up. It's mostly, it sounds like Texas based though.
Okay.
Is what the person who was checking us out said. So it was really good. Really, I could have eaten stuff plain without their sauces, but they had 4-5 different sauces.
Yeah, they had some good sauces too.
It's like a super hot one, a kind of a hot one, a sweet one, which was my favorite, and a mustard one.
Yeah.
So go check them out if you're ever in the Orlando area. It's worth the drive. It's not too far away from the Disney area if that's what you're going there to do. But once again, Big John's Rockin' BBQ. Our podcast is brought to you by our awesome and food-loving sponsor, Zip Schedules. So are you guys a restaurant owner or manager? One thing that can be quite time-consuming and probably loaded with a lot of frustration is scheduling your employees, because there's a lot of ins and outs and people wanting to change times off and different food runners asking for shift covers. And it really can be a lot to juggle if you're trying to make it work out of, if you have that many people, or heck, if you have anybody that's in the hospitality industry. This Zip Schedules is for you because it really takes the load off of your hands and makes it a much easier task.
Yeah, so I've looked at it. It's app and internet based service. So you make the schedule, and then if people have to switch, they go between themselves. They don't have to really involve you.
Which is so nice if you think about it. Just like, because sometimes a middleman,
yeah,
that's kind of a pain.
You know, there's no responsibility if they just call the manager and say, hey, I can't come in today. Sorry. But if they have to find their own replacement, which, you know, if you're a manager, you'd have to find the replacement for them. But if they say, hey, guys, I can't come in, who can take my shift? And somebody's like, hey, I could pick up your shift today. And that would be really easy, really nice for you.
Totally. So Zip Schedules has partnered with us, so you can get your first 30 days for free by visiting zipschedules.com. If you don't even know if it's the right thing for you, just try it out. You might be surprised at how easy it is to use and how convenient it is for you and your employees to use. So just give it a try for 30 days. And if you decide that this is something that will work for you and your small business, you can use the promo code HUNGRY, and that's uppercase HURNGRY, to receive 20% off each month for up to a year when you sign up. Thank you so much, Zip Schedules.
And now for the main course. All right, let's get down to our first topic at hand, the mini episode about Disney foods.
Yes. So Disney foods, Lee. I love food.
I like food too.
And we were in the neck of the woods where Disney is at, Disney World, that is. And we thought it would be kind of fun just to talk about some of our favorite foods that we have eaten there. What are some of the things that you've eaten there that you're like, oh yeah, you got to go try this?
So there's one that I really remember. It was the Monte Cristo sandwich. And I don't even know what restaurant it was that did it. But
I think it was in the Pirates of the Caribbean area.
yeah, it was that Southern antebellum place. I don't know. Is that even
After the war place.
Yeah. It was a Southern restaurant. But they have a really good Monte Cristo.
I think it's Cafe Orleans.
Yeah, that sounds
Does that sound
right.
better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you, Winter?
I have a few things that I absolutely love, and I usually try and get every single time I'm there.
Not the water in Orlando.
No, you guys, the water in Orlando is not awesome. I'm just saying. I'm sorry if you're from Florida and you're like,
from Florida, you probably know too.
So can I just actually go into the reason why I decided on this is because I was like, oh, I really love these things and I can't wait to have them.
What are they?
Okay, I have three things.
Three things
that I try and get every single time. It seems like that we go to Disney. It's been a few years. So
it has.
But the first thing I want to talk about are the turkey legs.
Oh, those things are huge.
Yeah, I know. They're awesome. Okay, do you like the turkey legs?
I do. Yes and no.
He has a little asterisk next to his.
Asterisks. I really do like the flavor, but I find eating around the tendons to be a little hard.
Yes.
And if I have to look okay walking down next to my wife and, if I was in a dark room all by myself eating the turkey leg, that would be awesome.
No problem.
No problem. Nobody would have to watch me devour that. Just imagine stereotypical Viking digging into a turkey leg.
Which is kind of awesome if you think about. I think that's the reason there's some appeal to it, because you're holding on to it and you feel a little
barbaric.
That's a good way of putting it.
Meat, fire.
So so turkey legs are a thing. They have carts. And I just want to say, a little bit of fast facts about the turkey legs at the Disney parks. 1.6 million turkey legs are consumed at all of the Disney parks every single year. That's 1.6 million. That's a lot of turkey.
That is a lot of turkey.
And there was, I'll go into this a little bit. So it actually,
one question, you said in all the parks, California, Orlando, Japan, do they have them?
Yeah, I think so.
There's not like a tofu turkey,
No,
tofurkey.
I think that would. Okay, wait. I'm gonna put a little let's get back to that tofurkey thing in just a minute.
Tofurkey leg.
No,
Japan.
No. So let me just hit one thing. So it actually debuted in the late 1980s in Big Al's coonskin caps in Frontierland at the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. And then eventually went to Disneyland. So started in Disney World, went to Disneyland. Thank goodness, because Disneyland is closer to us. And I think that's the first time I had one was in Disneyland.
Yeah.
So each leg is about 1.5 pounds for each leg. And the way, and you mentioned that you really like the flavor of it, right?
Oh yeah, it's really good.
Okay, so they are brined in a salt solution and then hickory smoked for with some of the spices and stuff of ham, like ham.
Oh, okay, like a spiral cut ham.
Yeah, almost. And so they have those kind of same flavors that a ham would have. And those are smoked for I think 6 hours is what I read.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's why they're so dang good. And but it says 1.5 pounds is usually kind of the average, but turkeys can range in size, so you can get one up to 2.5 pounds and not even you're like, oh yeah, I scored on the turkey leg lottery.
You got a turkey leg lottery it up.
So okay, now you mentioned, they're huge. One thing is that they're huge, and people have commented, and there has been a rumor that has gone along that those turkey legs are not turkey legs, but emu legs.
Emu?
Yeah.
What?
According to Snopes.com, it is not.
Oh, okay.
They're turkey legs. They're actually turkey legs from the male turkeys, the toms.
Oh, no.
They're just bigger. And so those turkeys are 40 to 50 pounds. So you're just going to get a bigger leg.
Okay.
So at Thanksgiving, you're used to kind of a female turkey, a lot of times a female turkey. So smaller legs. So that's why the Disney turkey legs seem bigger.
Big.
So, and you made a joke about a tofurkey.
Oh no. Tell me more.
No, there's nothing totally. So for the people, they kind of have this joke. So there's a lot of cool merchandise actually for the turkey legs. There's a cult following. But one of the things that they say, for your vegan friends, your vegetarian friends, you can get a Rice Krispie treat that's in the shape of a turkey leg and has chocolate on it. So it looks like, and then I think it's chocolate on the meat part. And then for the bone part, there's white chocolate. It's really cute. I'll try and post a picture in the show notes.
Now, Rice Krispie treats are not vegan.
What?
Because how many mallows had to die to make a Rice Krispie treat?
That's a good point. It's sad.
Never forget the mallow. The marshmallows.
Okay, the next thing I look forward to every single time I go to Disney is the Dole Whip.
Oh.
The pineapple Dole Whip.
What's that? The Tiki Hut?
The Tiki
Lounge.
Tiki Lounge. The Tiki Room. Enchanted Tiki Room. So, if you don't know what a Dole Whip is, it's a pineapple flavored, basically soft serve ice cream, would you say?
Yeah, soft serve ice cream.
But I think it's different. And when I read through some of my research, is that it is a little different.
Oh?
Yes.
Do they put the tofurkey in it?
No.
Oh.
No, Lee.
Oh, good.
Ooh. So, the Tiki Room seems like Dole.
It's a sponsor. It's
a sponsor of the Tiki Room. And you think that they would have been around since the beginning of it, when in fact it had not been.
Oh, no? They
didn't, the Dole Food Company didn't become a sponsor until the 1980s. When the Tiki Bar opened, it was in 1968. So there was a spell there. There was no Dole. And in fact, when it first opened, the only thing that they served was the drink, just the pineapple
juice drink,
and the spears of a kebab of pineapple pieces, which are really good. If you haven't never done that before, it's just dang good.
It's refreshing.
Yep. So later, it was not until 1986 that it was really totally the Dole Whip and the Dole Floats. So the Dole Float is you got some pineapple juice on the bottom and the ice cream on the top, and it's so good. So there was somebody that came in and they licensed the Dole Whip at Disney, and you have to purchase, and it's from Kent Precision Foods Group, and you have to purchase if you're going to have the Dole Foods, the Dole Whip at your location, whether it's at Disney or other places. There are other places that have them. You have to buy their machine because it whips in more air.
It's a specialized machine.
It's a specialized, basically soft serve ice cream machine, which puts in more air into the soft serve. And it's totally true because it's so creamy and fluffy. It is so, so good, I think. And they're really trying hard to move away to actually making it into a vegan, to make it certified vegan. And trying to use non-dairy creamer and just sugar and natural flavoring and coloring. So they're working hard at that. But I thought that was kind of cool. That
would they keep both options, the original and then the vegan friendly? Do you know?
They actually, I don't think so. They're really working hard to make sure that it matches the original flavor.
Okay.
So that the cult following, which would be me and my family,
I like it too,
would be able to eat it and be like, oh yeah, I'm behind this. We'll see.
We'll see
the next time we have it. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Last thing, Lee.
Pray tell.
Have you ever had a churro at the Disney parks before?
I think I've stolen some of your churros at the Disney parks. Mm-hmm. I often steal any churro you have anywhere.
That's true. I have a couple of rules for churros. I have to have churros at sporting events and at Disney.
Those are two good rolls?
Yeah, right? So the churro didn't really show up until mid-'80s.
Like churros in general or churros in Disney?
Churros in Disney. So
Okay.
I should probably back up because there is actually a long history of churros in the Spanish culture. And so, but
So we were talking about churros in the Spanish culture.
yes.
And,
So
the Latin culture.
in the Latin culture, yes. So in 1985, they were going to have, Disney was planning a kind of an outdoor amphitheater called Videopolis.
Videopolis.
I know, right, Lee? I think you would have hung out there. So
in
they
Metropolis?
Yeah, exactly. They were trying to make it a teens hangout and have a nightclub feel.
Yeah.
So Disneyland's food and beverages, Jim Lohman, he was in charge of those particular restaurants. And so he was trying to come up with new things for this new Videopolis area.
Videopolis.
So he attended an event called the Long Beach Grand Prix, and there was a churro booth there. And he was like, now this little snack here, that fried piece of
Hot diggity
batter,
dog, that's gone.
and then sugar and cinnamon situation. It was being kept in a warming oven, and he thought that would be perfect for it. So he grabbed an empty box and found out who manufactured these things. It was J&J Snack Foods. And so he reached out to them and said, hey, do you want to work with Disney? Oh my gosh, J&J probably was like, oh my gosh. They may not have realized it, but they hit the jackpot. I'm just saying.
They were probably like, stop catfishing us.
So,
No, we're really Disney.
I promised.
Do you want to meet Mickey Mouse?
So he was like, we really want to do this. But he wanted to make a change to the churro because it was a long churro, but it was only 6 inches long.
Okay.
So he's like, I want it longer. So he got it so that it was a 12-inch churro, like the ones we know today. And I am not sure if everything else was affected by it, because whenever I go to a sporting event,
everywhere.
they are 12 inches. They're not 6 inches. They are 12 inches. Those kind of very generic, not generic, but the ones that you can buy at.
Yeah, anywhere. Sporting events, movie theaters, they're all that long.
Mm-hmm.
12 inches.
Deliciousness. So obviously he tested it out to see how it went. He didn't start it out in that Videopolis area. He started it out near the Mark Twain riverboat, and there was a line all the time. And so actually there was a report that they pushed out the first cart and there was like 30 people trailing it, like, because they could smell the cinnamon and sugar.
Hey, I want some.
No,
Stop.
it's true. Like, it's so dang good. So they just kept going on. And I did think it was funny that originally the warming ovens were propane powered.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that he would start out with 6 tanks of propane and he couldn't get through the day with using that propane. And obviously it's dangerous. Like, you got a lot of propane.
Yeah.
So he had to figure out a way to store 6 other propane tanks to keep it going throughout the day. And so they finally eventually went to electric. And then, yeah, that should be good. So Now, one thing I like, so they're traditional churros, like in Spain, you dip it in like a really thick chocolate, like a hot chocolate, or maybe even a caramel sauce. But Disney found, and I think it's so interesting because Disney really does a lot of testing of their food and what works and what doesn't work. But they found that the dipping sauces that they offered, they were hard to sell. It was hard to warm up and people really didn't want to buy them.
It's another thing to carry around.
Yeah.
If you're in a park and you have to carry a churro, and you have to carry a dipping sauce, both hands are occupied.
Yeah, it's rough. So I think you just having the simple, beautiful, and elegant churro with its
cinnamon and sugar
and fried goodness. I mean, you can't beat that, right? I think you can.
Not with a churro stick.
Yeah. So those are my 3 main foods that I get at Disney. And I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the history of some of those foods that I thought were fascinating. Can I throw in one bonus thing that I've never eaten before at Disney?
What?
It is called the Grapefruit Cake.
A grapefruit cake?
A grapefruit cake.
Is it sort of like a clementine cake?
Well, no.
No?
Well,
oh, okay.
I don't know if I've had a clementine cake.
Oh, it's like made from clementine oranges and stuff like that.
Oh, I don't think so. According to the recipe, it doesn't maybe look like that type of cake.
Oh, okay.
So this particular cake is called the Grapefruit Cake, and it's from the Hollywood Brown Derby. And it was a restaurant chain called the Brown Derby restaurant.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of times they were, the pictures that I saw were some parts of the restaurant were in the shape of like a derby hat, like that round bowler hat almost.
Yeah, almost a bowler.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. But one of the restaurants of this chain opened up in Hollywood.
Okay.
And this is the way the story goes, is that so a lot of back in the 1950s, a lot of the big old movie stars would stop by there because it was close by to the studios. So Clark Gable, Mary Pickford, Spencer Tracy, Lucille Ball. I mean, like, people would hang out there.
The who's who of Hollywood.
Yep. So they would go there. And one of the people that went there a lot, her name was Luella Parsons. And she was a gossip columnist.
Oh, okay.
She was basically it. Like, there was another lady, Hedda Hopper, but Luella was pretty much it. The other thing was that the grapefruit diet was very popular back then.
A grapefruit diet.
Yeah. Haven't you heard of the grapefruit diet? Like, we did a fad diets episode and I think we mentioned the grapefruit diet.
I don't think I've heard of it.
Okay. Well, there is a grapefruit diet. And so obviously, one day the, Luella Parsons went up to the owner, this particular restaurant owner, Robert Cobb. And I just want to make another note that you'll like. Robert Cobb is the person who invented the Cobb salad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
Yeah. So she's like, I'm on a diet. I need something less fattening than what you've got on the menu. She was pretty dissatisfied. I need something healthier. I'm trying to watch my figure. And so he ended up telling the chef to put something with grapefruit in it. And so this is how the grapefruit cake was born. And you can find this cake in the Disney parks.
So the cake itself isn't necessarily healthy.
No.
It just has grapefruit in it.
Yes. In fact, the recipe, let me tell you a little bit about the recipe.
Butter, sugar.
It's just basically, it's a cake and there's grapefruit juice and stuff like that. But there's this grapefruit cream cheese frosting. That sounds wonderful.
That does sound good.
And the cake itself looks really lovely and decadent. And it looks like it has some sort of syrup or glaze or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And the people that I've read through some comments about the cake itself, and they said that there's a blood orange kind of simple syrup that they put on it, and a blood orange glaze on the top, and it does look like that.
Sounds good.
And then it's garnished with a kind of a candied dried piece of grapefruit. It's really pretty.
Just fabulous.
Yeah, I really liked that fun story. I've never had it, so next time we go, we have to go there.
And it's still being served in the park.
In the park, yeah.
Okay.
And Shishamanga. Oh yeah, I think it's just Disney World Brown Derby.
Brown Derby.
So that's what I learned today about Disney food. That was a really fun episode. I know that you were like, okay, whatever, Winter. But I'm I thought that was so interesting.
It just gives us another reason to go back.
I know. There's a lot of really good food. Like, I just heard that they have Hello Kitty mochi, ice cream. Hello Kitty, Ling. Yeah.
The mochi got me.
Yeah. And then there was...
it could be Kermit the Frog mochi and I'd be okay. Is that a Disney product?
Yeah,
no.
It totally is. Yeah. The Muppets are a part of the Disney.
Sweet.
Yeah. I also would love to hear... Have you heard that there's secret menus everywhere?
No.
In Disney.
In Disney?
Yeah.
Secret menus.
Yeah. Like, there's this one place that serves these tater tots that look dang good, but they're not on the menu. So... has anybody ever had, I'm asking our listeners, have you ever had anything off of a Disney secret menu?
Tell us.
We want to hear about it.
Tell us all your secret Disney fun facts. Well, thanks for joining us today for our show. You can find us at hungrysquared.com, on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music.
Hey, everybody. Send us an email to hungrysquared@gmail.com and tell us the Disney foods you have tried.
Or comment on our Facebook page.
Yes.
Or Instagram page.
Yeah, we love all of it. We love hearing about what you guys are doing out there. And once again, we want to thank Zip Schedules for sponsoring our podcast, as well as True Aussie Lamb and Beef. You guys go enter the contest. That'll be so fun. GrillOnTheGreen.com.
Thanks, guys.
So join us next week for our next episode of Food Nerdery.
Okay. Love you guys.
Yeah, we do love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Hungry squared, yeah, hungry squared.